Hello, this is Sachin Sawant. I'm a UK immigration lawyer registered with the OISC at level 3. Today, in the YouTube series where we talk about different types of visas, I'm going to discuss UK expansion worker visa. We have been getting a lot of queries since last year around April 2022. This visa was launched. It is sits under Global Business Mobility Area, UK expansion worker. At the time, the sole representative visa was closed down, so whoever is in sole rep can also switch into these categories. But usually we are getting many inquiries regarding this type of visa since the sole rep has been closed now. This visa, summarily, I will explain and then I'll go into the details. It's mainly for any businesses who are set up outside the UK. They already have a trading presence. They are doing business at least for 3 years. They are active and trading, and they are able to show that proof through their audited accounts, bank statements, etc. And so these are the documents requirements. I will talk about it in detail. Uh, then they have that business. They have an intention to come to the UK, and they want to expand in the UK and establish a trading presence in the UK within the 2 years. That is the intention. So summarily, overseas business wants to come to the UK, set up the business in the UK. Very important. Businesses always ask us, can we move our business to the UK? No, this category is the same as sole rep in that respect. So your international business outside the UK should continue operating throughout the period. Throughout the period you want to be under this expansion area. So that is the main thing. So people who want to move here, they can't just close down their businesses and come. Their business should be active back home in whichever country, and then they set up a business in the UK. It's not just for individuals, even corporates. There are big structures, there are parent companies, several holding companies. They have entities in different countries. They also have several entities in the UK. So there is a lot of complex areas in this as well. But I'll try to simplify as much as possible this overall, and this will help anyone who is interested, even corporates who are looking at this visa. If you watch this video, you'll get an idea. You can subscribe to our channel and we'll keep on making such similar videos for corporates as well. This is mainly with the intention of corporates, not individuals, because companies, they want to expand in the UK. UK is open to business to the world. Yes, that's what we are telling the world. So I'm just trying to help out by explaining how this visa works. We are helping clients in this area as well to get into this category. So summarily, the sole rep visa, just giving a background, it was always a problem area whereby Home Office had issues with the genuineness of the entities, etc. That have been so there was before closing the sole rep area, Home Office had issues with that area. That was made clear to us. We lawyers did knew about it, and finally they did close and they came up with this new visa area. So what they have done is basically they have introduced the sponsor license model. So for a skilled worker visa, if anyone who wants a skilled worker visa, or even the intra-company transfer, which has been renamed as senior and specialist worker, so or that is GBM, intra-company transfer or skilled worker, or any work-related visas, uh, they are being held under a license. So license is mainly, so in simple words, so Home Office checks that the business is genuine. So with the UK perspective, it's a UK business. The UK business is genuine. They look at their bank statements, whatever their address proof, their tax documents, etc., and their insurance and all, and they see that the business is genuine, and then they give them a license to hire migrant employees. Yeah, and then there are different requirements into various subcategories. In the senior and specialist care worker, there is a specific requirement. Skilled worker, there is a requirement. That's the summarily, that is how the sponsor license works. The Home Office checks the documents and says, okay, we trust you, you are an A-rated sponsor, we give you this sponsor management system through which you can sponsor migrants. And there are different things, defined certificates, undefined. We have made different videos on defined certificates also. You can subscribe to our channel and you can find those videos. So now coming back to this, so in the same way as other visas work inside the UK for work related visas, Home Office has tried to bring the expansion, the outside overseas entities also into this purview. So always the problem was when there is an overseas entity, how does that entity get a skilled worker visa? So it was always a challenge. Someone authorizing officer needs to be physically in the UK. There are various other requirements, needs to be a settled person, etc., etc. So in order to overcome that challenge, Home Office has come up with an in-between sponsor licensing regime. So no doubt, finally the intention is to have that entity, once it is established in the UK, they should finally have a skilled worker sponsor license. That is the central idea behind it. But in between, there will be a probationary temporary area where Home Office will give you some license to get in the game, get into the UK. So overseas business applies for UK expansion worker. They show their overseas presence, get the license. The certificate under the license can be issued only for 1 year in the beginning. It can be further issued to the same individual for further 1 year, so up to 2 years. That particular ex individual, if you want to send that person to the UK, or whoever is coming, several individuals, they can only be sponsored up to a maximum of 2 years. The idea is within those 2 years, so that's what we do whenever anyone comes on the expansion worker visa. The idea is to, as soon as the person enters, within 3 to 6 months, as soon as the company is set up and we have the documents to apply for a sponsor license for the skilled worker visa, we apply that, and then we switch them, the authorizing officer, etc., onto the skilled worker visa. And then second important thing, this does not lead to ILR. So the time that you spend on this visa does not count towards your 5 years for the ILR. You have to move on to the skilled worker visa, complete 5 years on it, and then get ILR. So that's from the settlement perspective. But from the company's perspective, you get this license, set up in the UK, then get down and get the other license as soon as possible, within 3 to 6 months if possible. Worst case scenario, within 2 years. Then move the people who are on this visa, expansion worker visa, you move them, you switch them inside the UK, an application is done, and you give them a skilled worker visa. So what are the main requirements? Three main requirements. A is overseas presence, B is UK footprint required, and three is business plan, which is credible. So overseas presence, you should be active and trading overseas outside the UK. And how do you prove? That is at least for 3 years. You have to prove your audited accounts or unaudited, depending on the level of your firm, etc. So you have to present the accounts for the last 3 years, 12 months of active trading evidence, last 12 months. So if I'm filing it today, 12 months backwards, you have to show, the best way is to show business bank statements to show there is trading happening outside UK, and evidence of trading at the start of the 3 years. So even at the beginning, you should show trading. So the best way is to just show 3 years of bank statements and you show the whole 3 years of trading rather than doing it. Or you can show last 12 months and 3 years before the bank statements that there was trading. That's the best way to do it. So active trading for last 3 years, 12 months of business trading evidence, bank statements, audited accounts preferably they would like to look, because they are focused on bigger entities, corporates who want to expand, businesses, service area businesses as well. So that is one thing. Overseas presence, that is, we call it A. Then the B is UK footprint. You cannot be actively trading in the UK, so you should not be trading in the UK. We have asked clarification on this. If you are selling through Amazon, eBay, or any e-commerce platform, that is fine. The product or the service is sold through some other platform, that will be ignored. That may not be considered as UK presence. But if you have your own website, your own shop, or something like that, that may be considered as actively trading. So do get a clarification on this. So if you can instruct us, if you want advice from us, we can advise on these matters depending on your circumstances. UK footprint is required, so you can't be completely zero in the UK. One is business premises. You may also have a virtual office or something. It may be a workable model, or you may have to rent premises depending on the type of business. a registered business, the business should be registered, so you have to come here, register it as a branch of your overseas business, branch of X Limited, or you can open up a completely new company and that can be a subsidiary of the overseas business. Like Y Limited is the subsidiary of that overseas X Limited, or straight away branch of X Limited. Second, that is the second point. B, UK footprint. First was overseas presence, second is UK footprint. You need a footprint but not trading presence, no active trading. Third part is business plan. So you have a business outside, you have this made these UK footprints. Now show me the business plan. That is what the home office says. You have to show them that you have intentions, genuine intentions to expand in the UK in the same type of business. You cannot start new ventures. Whatever you're doing, you have to do the same type of business. And establish a trading presence within 2 years. That should be the goal. The business plan has to say within 2 years we are going to establish a trading presence in the UK. So this 2 years ties in with the 2 years of certificate of sponsorship. Initially it is given for 1 year, the visa will be given, then another certificate of 1 year can be given, and the visa can be extended for further 1 year. So that's the reason they are saying within 2 years your goal should be to expand within the UK. So this is the point number 3, business plan. Again coming back, UK expansion worker is equal to overseas presence plus UK footprint plus business plan credible. And to support this you may also have to produce your finances, your accounts to show that you have enough monies to pay the salaries of at least these employees, or whatever future you're planning. You're trying to rent a premises, warehouse, anything. You will be planning to hire employees. Whatever is your plan, you may have to show sufficient funds are available to pay at least the salaries of those people or do any activity that you want to. So that is summary of it. This and one more, there is an exceptions. There are to the overseas presence only to part A. B and C remain the same. There are only 2 exceptions. There is a UK and Japan. With Japan, the UK has made some agreement, comprehensive economic partnership. If you are an overseas entity who is set up in Japan and you want to start the same business in the UK, you don't need to show your overseas presence proof. You can directly only show B and C and get in the game. The same applies to overseas business which is listed. So listed on any of the stock exchanges, either in that country on the main stock exchange, that's the main market, or on an international stock exchange, say NYSE, London Stock Exchange, or something like that. So if you are listed, then you don't have to show your overseas presence proof. That is accepted just by you being listed on the exchange or you being an entity in Japan. So those are the only 2 exceptions basically. Then but you do have to meet the B and C, UK footprint and business plan. So again, to summarize, UK expansion worker, this has replaced sole rep visa, representative of an overseas business. You will need a sponsor license. It has been brought under the sponsor license regime. So the outside business applies for a sponsor license by showing UK footprint and business plan, credible one with some proof. So 1, 2, 3 combine, you get this license of expansion worker, GBM expansion worker, that's the category. Then you apply for the license, you sponsor your individual who is going to come on that visa, on the expansion worker visa. That individual comes, either one or several, and they can come. Then apply. As soon as you set up other things, you open bank accounts, you have an address, you register with HMRC for the payroll. Obviously the payroll has to begin. As soon as you have about 3 or 4 other evidences, you start and you get insurance, business insurance, employers liability insurance. Once you have those 2, 3 other, you already have 2 documents for the skilled worker sponsor license, that is the business premises address and registered company house address. Maybe you would need 3 more documents, maybe some insurance, employers liability, etc. UK bank account that you will be opening. Yeah, so definitely on this visa you will be able to open the bank account for the company. That will be another proof. And yeah, and you register for the payroll, so that will be another HMRC, PAYE, bank statements of UK bank, and employee payroll running, bank statements, and any insurance, plus adding the business premises and the registration. All those combined, you can apply for a skilled worker visa. Within 3 months or so, you should be able to apply. It's not that big of a deal because you will get those documents. There are other documents also which you can produce, and move the individuals on to the skilled worker visa. That is very very important, because they count for the 5 years towards their settlement in the UK. Indefinite leave to remain, that is permanent residence, will not start unless they move on to the skilled worker visa. Expansion worker is not a route to settlement. What that means, that does the time spent on this visa does not count towards your indefinite leave to remain. So there's the summary. Expansion worker A plus B plus C with these two exceptions. And if you need any further information regarding your specific company, your corporate deciding to expand in the UK, you just want to see, test the waters, or just get some more information on this, do book a consultation with us. The link will be down below. If you do like this video, yes, do subscribe to our channel. This will help others also in similar situations. Everywhere in the world, companies are trying to expand inside the UK. They want opportunities. The UK is open to business. We are here to help you with all the expansion workers. Yes, so do subscribe to our channel, like this video. If you want a consultation, we can do a remote video consultation if you're not based in the UK. And yes, we can answer all your queries. And you can also instruct us to do everything on your behalf. So yes, we do provide full service, any service. And thank you very much for your time. Do subscribe to this channel and like this video. Don't like this video. If you don't like it, put any comments that you would like to talk about. We may not be able to answer specific queries to your cases. For that, it's also data protection. We can't just keep on answering queries on YouTube comments. But yes, in general questions, yes, you may ask them. We'll try as much as possible, or even on YouTube or on our website you can go. The link will be in under the video. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Do subscribe to our channel.